It was the biggest comeback of the NBA season. Now, look, Slick Rick Bucher, it's good to see you. Well, at least it was. Shady, when I'm watching the game, I realize this. The Lakers are officially Western Conference contenders. On Friday, I came on this show, and I was talking out of feelings, not facts, right? I was believing it was so, even when it wasn't so that it could be so. But now it is so. The Lakers officially contenders. If you can come back from down 27 versus a team which has players that don the name Luka, one-namers, Luka, Kyrie. If you can come back from down 27, what can't you do? LeBron James has played a mighty long time, and we just witnessed his team, a LeBron James team, have the biggest comeback of a LeBron James team in his illustrious career. If you can come back against the Dallas Mavericks, in my mind, what can't you do? Because the Western Conference is wide open. Yeah. In my opinion, the Dallas Mavericks have just as good a shot to win the West as anybody else. Don't talk to me about the Nuggets, who ain't won the West. Don't talk to me about the Grizzlies, who ain't won the West. Don't talk to me about the Kings, who ain't won the West. The Mavericks are as capable as anybody. And the Lakers came back from down 27 to win. Not to go into overtime, to win in regulation. They officially contenders, Slick Rick.
Well, how am I supposed to start when your original premise is off? No, the Dallas Mavericks are not as much contenders as everybody else. Their record doesn't say so, and their makeup doesn't say so. Since when does this brand new Kyrie? We're going to get to this.
We're going to get there. We're going to get to that later.
We'll
get to that later.
I thought about
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Sunday. But I digress. Look, I agree with you with this point. The fact that they were the first team to come back from a 27-point deficit does give this team the confidence, especially this newly built team, that they can do anything, that they are an anointed team, that they're meant to do something special. Without question, that confidence is a vital part of this. But I have said from the beginning, my concern is, can LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who haven't been able to play a stretch of games without taking games off, are they going to be able to do it for the next 20-plus games and then, in order to get to the conference finals, do it for another 20-plus games? And what do we have? We have one game where they got to go to the wall to win, and LeBron James is limping out of the building. If he misses the next couple games and they lose to Memphis and they lose to Oklahoma City, we will have completely forgotten about this dramatic comeback against the Dallas Mavericks. So while I think it is an important win and a valuable win for them, it doesn't change my view of them as being a threat to be a play-in team and to be in the playoffs. But taking them all the way to the conference finals, Acho, you have big dreams in your life. You have big dreams, and sometimes we just get a little ahead of ourselves and we have big dreams. I think this might be one of those times.
Joy, break it down. Are the Lakers officially Western Conference contenders?
Yes. You got to manifest these things, right?
Get into existence.
Before you can become great,
talk about it.
First believe that you are great.
That's a bar.
Bars.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Ooh,
that's a bar.
Before you can become you know, he always says it twice. Before you become great, you must first believe you are great. You made a great point. Slick, this comeback is very important for this newly put together team.
Yeah.
This was a big win for the team to see we're capable of this, to see role players step up and be huge, which to me is really the updated information, right? We were kind of manifesting it, last week.
Oh, yes, you were.
We're speaking it into existence
with people.
a little bit. But now we can see more evidence. We can see more evidence that these moves are helping, that they filled holes.
Agreed.
Vanderbilt was excellent. Yesterday.
Excellent.
He is a role player, and he played his role to perfection. That is the type of defense, that is the type of contribution that you have to have if you're going to be a contender in the West. So I love what I saw from them, and if they can continue to play at this level, yes, health is obviously a real conversation, and it must be considered when you talk about how much basketball LeBron has played over his career, because we don't often consider all the extra games in the postseason and the Olympics. I think he's played 3 extra seasons than just the regular seasons that we consider. So
he's 38.
Yes, and Anthony Davis has had a very hard time staying healthy. So I think it's fair. I hate that word. It's reasonable to apply that when we are evaluating what the Lakers can do. But if they can stay healthy and they play like that, why wouldn't they be contenders?
Shady, you answer that question. Are the Lakers officially contenders in the Western Conference?
I'm going to say yes. With these new additions, first of all, they're 4-1 with these new additions, right? They won this game yesterday without D'Lo. He was hurt. He didn't play.
Talk about it.
So you miss out on a point guard. You miss out on scoring. Then Joey talked about Vanderbilt. He played great. In the first half, they couldn't stop Luka, especially in the first quarter. As soon as you turn the game on, he hit 3 step-back threes on Anthony Davis off the switcher. I'm like, whoa, it's going to be a long game. As the score got bigger and bigger and bigger and higher and higher and higher, they started coming back. They were down like 20-some points early in the game. They cut it to 14 at half. I said, oh, hold up. It's a game again. The Lakers didn't shoot well at all, right? They were like 6 for 34 from 3. That's terrible, 18%, something like that. But the cool thing I watched is, how did they really win this game?
Talk about it.
They went from defense. They went from Anthony Davis playing like the old Anthony Davis, like the bubble Anthony Davis.
Agreed.
He had 30 and 15. He was dominant.
Yep.
When the game got down to the wire, he was the one that was answering. He's the one that put the nail in the coffin, other than the Luka mistake later in the game. And then the cool thing I love, they outscored him in the paint, 62 points to 32. People don't see that part. So if we're not shooting well, right, we're playing great defense, how are we going to win this game?
Go down and bang.
They won it in the paint.
Go down and bang.
They had steals. They played great defense. They scored in the paint, and that's how they won that game. And real quick, I do think that if they can play this way, it's like they're adjusting. They're finding ways to win. We're not shooting well, let's go to the paint. Okay, if that's not working, we're playing defense. I don't know. This Lakers team, going to be tough to deal with, man.
So let me just slow this roll just a little bit. Because, again, and this will underscore the point that I made at the beginning, which is that the Dallas Mavericks aren't that team. They aren't a team that's going to contend. Because defensively, you're not going to have, if and when the Lakers get into the playoffs, LeBron James is not going to be guarded by Tim Hardaway Jr. or Frank Ntilikina or Reggie Bullock. That's not going to happen. And Anthony Davis is not going to be defended by Dwight Powell on a regular basis.
Okay.
They're going to be legit players there. And I can't help but make a point of they did fall behind by 27.
They did.
And they did look at
back.
this as a game that they needed and did not play like it for the better part of the first half.
Sure.
So did the Lakers win this game? I'm not going to take it away from them. They won this game, but they could not have done it without the Dallas Mavericks completely falling apart.
I disagree, Shady.
Can I you got him?
Let me get him.
Okay, go and get him.
Here's the problem, Slit. So often, people just assume the Mavericks just fell apart.
Right.
No, they just fell apart.
Yeah.
Slick, I had a. Let me break it down for you like this. I had a leak in my roof during the days and days and days of rain. Had a leak in my roof. My roof didn't just start leaking. Had some pressure. The rain, the water, the pressure forced my roof to start leaking. The Mavs ain't just trip and fall apart. AD, turn around fadeaway on Luka's face. LeBron James on a bum ankle, step through, bucket. So we're not just going to act like the Dallas Mavericks just somehow collapsed. No, no, no. It was the Lakers that forced the collapse of the Dallas Mavericks. It was the Lakers that forced the Dallas Mavericks, that ran the Dallas Mavericks off the court. What most impressed me was this, Slick. It was that energy. That's why I use the phrase run off the court. Them old school Lakers would not have come back from down 27.
Right.
They're just too old. Like, they truth be told.
And they waved the flag.
They would have tapped, hey, coach. Get me out. I need something. They would have tapped, and they wouldn't have been able to keep up, like Joy brought up the brilliant point of Jared Vanderbilt. Like, his energy was palpable.
Absolutely.
So that, to me, Slick, is why this Lakers team is different and legitimate contender.
Can I add on to that?
Please do.
Like, they look desperate. They look hungry.
Yeah, hungry dogs.
And you talk about, like, it's two sides of sports. The first half and then the second half. The first half, they didn't play well. They didn't shoot well. They made adjustments. That's what good coaching is. That's why I give Ham some credit. They made adjustments in the second half. They played lights-out defense. You talk about Jared
Vanderbilt.
His energy. You need, in like championship teams, there's always guys like that.
That part.
There's always a guy that's like he's harassed you on defense. He don't get tired every second. He's giving you all his effort. Like the Draymond Green type. And then he gave you 15 points, which we didn't expect that, right? All hustle points, all second rebounds. Another thing is, like, people understand in basketball, it be the small things. Like, they double, I think it was like 18 to 20 of second chance opportunities on offense.
Points, yep.
Points. So it's like, shoot a ball, brick. Our guys on our offense hustling to get the ball, loose balls. Stuff like that matters. If Jason Kidd talked about how his guys need to grow up, right? They need to go out there and compete. Stop crying for all the fouls to the refs. Play hard, because the Lakers, they were doing that.
And Vanderbilt had 17 rebounds.
Come on now. 17? He only 6'8". 17's a lot.
138 times in NBA history, a team has led by 27 points.
Okay.
This is the first time, and it's not as if in all those 138 games, teams didn't make comebacks, but no team fell apart so dramatically that they actually lost the game after leading by 27 points. So I don't want to take anything away. Like I said, and I've said it, the Lakers are a better team. They are far more suited to LeBron James. And LeBron James and Anthony Davis did everything you would hope that they could do. But the Dallas Mavericks, you can't say that this was imposed on them. Kyrie Irving was 1 for 8 from three-point range in the second half, 2 for 10. He was a disaster, ultimately, in the second half. I just need Kyrie to play halfway good. Somebody from the Dallas Mavericks to get a rebound. And then this turns the other way, and we're not having this whole conversation.
Joy, final thoughts.
I mean, there are points that we can make about what happened with the Dallas Mavericks. We do have to tell that side of the story. I agree. But I think the way that the Lakers played defense, and to Shady's point, it's not like they got back in this game by shooting a flurry of threes. They had to get back into it in the paint.
Yep.
To me, that's a more desperate team. That's a more physical team. It's a more experienced team. And it's their star in Anthony Davis playing at a really high level. So I think it was forced on them. I hear your point about that how hard it is to come back from that. But when you're not doing it by shooting threes, I have to give the Lakers more credit than I do the Mavs falling apart. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.